first boot of this CPU, and I've run through the preliminaries. You can see some of the sounds are missing. Sound 1, 3, 5 are missing. Now, I've seen this before, but I think I know what it is. So let me take care of this. So you can see that the problem is still here. So I replaced this 2N3904 and a 10 microfarad cap right here. So the next thing to suspect is either the DAC, the 1408, or the outputs of the 6821 at U9. So let's probe the outputs of the 6821 at U9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see the 6821 is driving the DAC while it's supposed to be making noises, but we are getting no noises. So unfortunately, the next thing to replace is the DAC. So you can see that we have sounds 1, 3, and 5 back again. And the ultimate problem, and I always start by replacing the cheapest components first. I replaced this capacitor, the 3904 that's used as an amplifier. I skipped replacing R7 because it tested good, and resistors just don't fail. We did in the previous segment, we tested the 6821, so really the only thing left could be the DAC. So I have replaced the 1408 with a DAC 0808, which is a cross reference equivalent, and Williams even used the DAC 0808 in some of their games. So let me boot it up again. That is a normal boot for high speed. You hear a little tink, and then you see Steve Ritchie's initials. We've got the big 0 on the 7-segment display, and I've got to hook up the rest of my test rig here. After you've done this for so many years, you get good at knowing what you can connect up while power's on and what not. So we have the lamp matrix working, and the only coil that's on is number 16, which is the coin lockout circuit. So going over a little bit of what was done to this board, and you saw all the alkaline corrosion. So everywhere that there's bare copper was sanded down to the bare traces, first with some pretty heavy grit, more abrasive grit, so I can get the solder mask off, and then I finish it up with some 400 just to smooth it out and make it look a little nicer. Had to replace a lot of parts. These SIP resistor banks, there's 5 of them up here, there was 1 down here, a couple of 2N6427s I think, or I can never remember that part number. All these parts with gold dots on them had to be replaced. I could salvage the 74154 and both of these 6821s, fortunately. So let's put it through the rest of its tests. Of course, all that was coming from the background soundboard in my game. I'm going to get the buttons correct here on my tester. I had the auto up button in the wrong position. This board has been a marathon. I probably got 8 hours into this board. Can I charge for 8 hours of work? No, 8 hours of work on a service call around here would be $360, $460, about $525. I gotta get back to doing service calls. So you can see the display is working fine. And all the sound is back. We have the lamp matrix functioning. We do single lamps. You see a little ghosting there that is normal with an LED display. And then we'll do the coil circuits. High speed doesn't multiplex the coils, so it's going to go down the red column and then over to the left green, blue, orange column. While that's doing that, let me connect the connector, the last one, for the switch inputs for those special solenoids. And those are working properly. I think I missed those, so I'm going to let those come around again. Two bright orange ones in the lower center of the screen are the flipper ground enable relay. So there we have all the coils working. And the next test is switch test. So I'll go through column 1. Interesting, when I was doing this with the DAC still failed. It wasn't making that noise that it's making as we test these out. Here's row 1. And high speed, the last switch used is switch 52. So there you go. And we can cycle through the adjustments and the audits. Get to 23, put it on free play. So I've got NVRAM in this board. And let it reboot. And the work of art is finished. I used to sign these boards. I stopped doing that a little while back, but because Lloyd the Great was giving me grief about it. But this one is going to get a signature right there in the center. Thanks for your patience as I work through this corroded hanger queen and got her going.